Definitely a festive atmosphere here in downtown Minneapolis outside of First Avenue. The doors opened just about an hour ago for the all-night dance party. Amy and Kelsey, they don't believe that this was a random act, but that doesn't take away the sadness that his friends and family are feeling. The 17-year-old's friends and family right now gathering here at the scene as they have throughout the day, just walking back and forth, trying to come to grips with this. And Karen, Tim, the candidates thought they had settled a dispute over delegates that one candidate said was racially motivated, but in the end, all of that tension exploded to the surface. Leaders said they had no choice but to start the process if they want to get things done before Monday. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say they're confident a deal can get done, but they're running out of time. Insurance adjusters are expected out here tomorrow. In the meantime, church members are still deciding what's next, including the best way to rebuild. In Hawk Creek, Samuel King, Fox 9.
A vigil set to get underway in the next hour to remember a local teenager found shot and killed inside his home.
Now police are investigating what led to that shooting that killed 14-year-old Eric Nelson. Fox 9's Samuel King is in Princeton. And Samuel, this must be very hard for his family and friends.
Hey, Kelsey and Randy, Eric Nelson being remembered as a teenager who was very loving and caring. He was looking forward to getting his driver's license in a couple years and eventually becoming a mechanic. People still coming at this hour to the home, dropping off flowers and balloons as the community rallies to remember Eric Nelson, while the circumstances of his death remain unclear. This is how his relatives want Eric Nelson to be remembered. These Snapchat videos providing comfort in the face of a devastating loss.
And just loving and caring and funny and just a very good-hearted person who loved his family and his friends.
Police found Eric Nelson dead inside this home on 15th Avenue North in Princeton Monday afternoon after getting a report that shots were fired here. They found another 14-year-old boy inside the home. Family members say he was someone Nelson knew from school. His mother and grandmother, too distraught to speak with us on camera, allowing his aunts to read statements on their behalf.
She wrote, "My baby was a strong-willed kid. He had a big heart and loved his big brother and two sisters more than life itself. He loved riding his bike, building things with Legos, and playing video games. Eric leaves behind a full, loving family. His memory will always be with us. He left a huge impact on us all."
Relatives say there were guns in the home, but also that Eric's parents consistently stressed gun safety. Investigators not revealing much, but did tell family members they don't believe the death was a suicide. The family's focus now is less on how Eric Nelson died, but more on how he lived.
We just want to ask the community to be praying for our family. So we need strength right now and knowledge on how to handle this.
The Mille Lacs County Sheriff's Office and the BCA assisting the Princeton Police with this investigation, and that vigil getting underway at 7 o'clock over at New Life Christian Church, not too far from here, and we'll have more coverage of that later on tonight. We're live in Princeton this evening. Samuel King, Fox 9.
They gon' come when I don't march no more. The day gon' come when I don't march no more.
We come to heal. We come to celebrate how God is transforming this very place from a place of bloodshed to a place of new life.
Just steps from where Philando Castile was shot and killed.
My son, his spirit dwells in all of us.
Those who knew him, and even those who didn't, gathered to ensure he would never be forgotten.
And I am struck by how deeply Philando loved others and is loved, and how the power of this love has sparked a movement for justice.
Castile's family and Falcon Heights residents unveiled this pop-up memorial until a permanent one can be built.
Son, you never talk much here, but you're making a lot of noise now, baby.
Philando! Philando!
St. Anthony police officer Geronimo Yanez faces third-degree manslaughter charges in Castile's shooting death. The hearing is scheduled for Wednesday on a defense motion to dismiss the charges. Those here say they will continue to fight for justice.
He lost his life to show us the injustice that happens when you're not looking.
We lost a lot right here. But as God is my witness, my sole purpose on this earth from this day forward is to make sure there is not another Philando in this state, not on my watch.
Samuel, they've got a lot to accomplish now in the next 2 days, don't they?
Well, Tim, Governor Dayton said tonight he was blindsided when Republican lawmakers decided to go ahead and move the package of budget bills through the legislature after he had to step away from the talks for a funeral. But Republican leaders said they had no choice but to start the process if they want to get things done before Monday. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say they're confident a deal can get done, but they're running out of time. The budget debate briefly left the Capitol and relocated to the studios of Twin Cities Public Television. Governor Mark Dayton and key lawmakers from both parties discussed the state of the budget talks on TPT's Almanac program. Earlier in the day, GOP legislators began the process of passing several budget bills, even though a final deal hasn't been reached.
They wanted me engaged, so I'm engaged. They said they didn't want to negotiate, so I'm negotiating. I'm willing to continue to negotiate.
We just started the process that you have to finish on time. We're at Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and we're done. And so we have to get going.
The governor says his aim as his term winds down is to leave the state in good fiscal health. So he feels the GOP's tax cut package, currently at more than $600 million, is too big.
I've said along, I'm not going to leave the state of Minnesota in the kind of predicament that I inherited in 2011. The budget has to be, and the tax cut has to be fiscally responsible.
If we don't do this tax bill, it's $5 billion that's going to come out of Minnesota family budgets and out of their pockets. And frankly, I can't imagine how good that would be for their own family budgets, but also for Minnesota's economy.
Both sides are trying to avoid a government shutdown like in 2011, but the governor still feels there are too many controversial policy proposals in the GOP budget plan.
We're 3 days away from the session. I've been saying for 3 weeks, the budget bills without policy will get it done. The budget bills have controversial policy, will be into June.
It'll definitely be a working weekend for lawmakers here at the Capitol. Those budget negotiations expected to resume at 10 tomorrow morning. Lawmakers do have until Monday night to avoid a special session. They would then have until June 30th to avoid a government shutdown. And we're live at the Capitol tonight. Samuel King, Fox 9. Tim, back to you.
All right, Samuel, thanks.
Forest Lake City leaders hear an earful from residents about a proposal to turn over policing to Washington County.
But one key player was missing from the open house tonight. Fox 9's Samuel King is live at Forest Lake. Sam, the Washington County Sheriff's Office choosing not to attend.
Jeff and Kelsey, they say that's because they want to be above the fray. They don't want to get involved in the fierce debate here about whether to disband the police department. They did provide a lot of information to the residents that came out here, but despite that, many residents still feel that disbanding the city's police department is not a good idea. It wasn't quite the forum many Forest Lake residents were expecting.
We came here thinking that we were going to get some questions answered, and we have a lot of questions, as taxpayers.
Many expecting to hear directly from the Washington County Sheriff's Office about its proposal to take over the city's police force. Questions. Did they indicate to you why they chose not to be here?
They do not participate in local government affairs. I do respect that. They made that clear right from the beginning, and that's why we're here.
And Mayor Ben Winnick heard an earful from people like Nancy Anderson voicing their opposition to the proposal.
They just don't seem to be listening to us, and we just can't understand it. And I said to him, I said, there is an outcry here for you to stop this. So I said, we're just begging you as Forest Lake citizens, please put a stop to this.
The Sheriff's Office did provide information for the open house. They're proposing to assign at least 15 deputies to the city full-time. They also learn more about finances. Currently, the police force has a net impact of roughly $3.3 million on the city's budget. Washington County's proposal would have a projected impact of around $2.9 million, a savings of roughly $387,000.
I believe we're going to get a lot better variety of police services than we can afford now. We're going to get more patrols than we do now.
But those figures don't include one-time transition cost of at least $500,000. Just another factor on the list of concerns for others on the council.
Washington County is a professional organization. They offer a great product. The question we're asking is, what's the best solution for Forest Lake right now?
And the mayor tells me that city leaders are listening to all of the comments from residents, and the sheriff's office also taking calls and emails from concerned citizens on this issue. The city council here expected to make its final decision in the upcoming weeks. We're live in Forest Lake tonight. Samuel King, Fox 9.
All right, thank you, Samuel.